Ryan Waliani, and I'm the founder and CEO of Kitchenbowl, a social community for cooking for millennials centered around recipes. So just about 2 years ago, my dad had a minor stroke. And so my wife and I were trying to figure out how do we become healthier and how do we change our lives, because I grew up on fast food, Taco Bell Tuesdays. My wife grew up on Costco frozen pizzas. And so we really needed to change something, but I never learned how to cook. So we tried culinary textbooks, we tried recipe communities, and nothing really worked for us. And so what we found, that's not uncommon with other people in our generation, specifically the millennial generation. In 1999, 73% of people found recipes made cooking simpler. In 2012, only 35% found recipes made cooking simpler. And the shocking thing here is, this is a stat by allrecipes.com, and the recipes did not change, but the people did. And so the millennial generation was browsing recipes and finding it very difficult to use. So we said, there's a problem here, we have to fix it, and we tried to learn how to cook, and we found this one recipe format for croissants that worked for us. It was a step-by-step photo recipe with animated GIFs. So imagining laminating butter into the dough, how do you do that? But an animated GIF, self-repeating video clip makes it so much easier. And so we tested this, and 55% of people actually found that our native content format was better. 23% preferred the traditional recipe format in text, 16% preferred the blog format, and only 6% preferred video. And that's shocking because video is king. And what we found is that video is absolutely great for entertainment, but it's not the best format for utility and learning how to cook. So then we decided, well, what if every single recipe was in this format? Would it be a better world? Could we do this? And we found out that just 4,000 recipes covers 50% of this recipe searches on the internet today. So jumping into a Lyft ride, I found out that my driver was a chef, and so I invited him over to dinner next week to make our first recipe. And it was really hard. It took us over 48 hours to create this high-quality step-by-step photo recipe. And that's when we knew, well, having people take a DSLR photo and converting it to your computer is really hard, and converting a video to a GIF, I don't even know how to do that without writing a line of code. And so we decided that we're betting on mobile, and specifically mobile content creation, because as you're recording and cooking your dish, you can capture that video, you can capture that animated GIF, and distribute that in a scalable fashion. And so that's when Kitchenbowl was born, or birthed. And so it's a social community. I don't know if, you can see it, cool. Yeah. And so we have step-by-step photos and recipes. Our best chefs are highlighted. People can enter contests. And these are all user-generated and submitted by our users. 50% of all our recipes are uploaded in less than 30 minutes. They're step-by-step, easy to follow, and the animated GIFs make it really easy. And so far, we're off to a really great start. We have over 1,000 user-generated recipes, and the average contributor posts 5.1 recipes in their entirety, and that number is growing month over month. And it's easier to use. If you're trying to create a blog for the first time, it's easier and faster and better. And on our consumer front, we've been off to another amazing start on that side as well. And we launched just before Thanksgiving last year. We were featured as the #1 recipe and chef's app for the editorial calendar for Christmas. We were also featured as the best new apps on the homepage of the iTunes store. Subsequent to that, in February, we launched a viral video that many of you have seen, Kids Try Breakfast from Around the World, and that has amassed over 8.5 million views on YouTube today. And to top it off, Facebook really liked our app, so they flew a video team to Malaysia. Oh.
Would you like some water?
Yes, please. Yeah. They flew a video team to Malaysia to film one of our users, Angie, and that was showcased at their conference just in March this year. And finally, we joined FOOD-Xcel and broke 1,000 user-generated recipes. So what's really interesting about recipes and cooking in general is that there's 5 stages in the consumer life cycle. So people plan, they search for recipes like easy, quick, best. They go to the grocery store to buy those ingredients. And finally, they cook the meal and share their photo of the end product with their friends. And what's really interesting is that people don't go to the grocery store to buy celery. They actually go to the grocery store to buy ingredients for meatloaf. And so this is a paradigm shift that we can take advantage on, being that recipes are the center for distribution or currency for distribution. And so what we're planning on doing is going straight from, hey, I want to cook this meatloaf recipe, I want to cook this lasagna or croissant recipe. What if those ingredients could be delivered to your door with a click of a button? Partnering with Instacart, Blue Apron, Peapod, Fresh Direct, some of the existing grocery services out there today. And finally, we can also work with CPG brands such as Kraft and allow them to have sponsored recipes such as cheese fondue recipes, providing value to the consumer as well as the right brand exposure to the brand trying to build that audience. And finally, our team is really experienced in this market in mobile and digital. I built a performance marketing company to $6 million a year in revenue in 18 to 21 months. My co-founder and wife has had 3 apps featured by Apple in 3 different categories. She's also a blogger turned author. Our CTO, Jackie, has a 4.0 from Carnegie Mellon and worked at iOS platform at Amazon. And Siri, our director of marketing, she came from Urban Spoon, where she was a senior marketer there, same dynamic of content creation. And she worked in the restaurant industry for over 10 years, working with chefs directly. And so we're excited to let everyone know that we raised a total of $1.3 million to date. Thank you. And we've got some really top investors, such as the former CEO of All Recipes himself, agrees that our format is better, which is good. He's the one who built it. And the largest investor in Seattle, large by number of deals, John Steinberg, SOS Ventures, Bill King in the room right there. Thank you so much. Really big help. And of course, as well as the largest investor in All Recipes as well. So we're off to a really good start, and we're excited to grow and make cooking more accessible to everybody, one step at a time, I guess is a pun. And say hello at our booth. And I'm Ryan again. And come meet Serena and Jackie. Thank you.